Shoot. I ain't tech savvy like my cousin tech savvy. All right. So, okay. So, just so everybody kind of knows everybody, right? So, um, I don't know how it shows up on your side, but we got DP here. DP is Darius. I'm gonna let you kind of introduce yourself, and then you're on mute, bro.
Oh, my bad, man. Technical difficulties today. What's up, everyone? My name is Darius, aka DP. Um, what can I say about myself, man? I've been in the financial game really since about 2011. Um, I joined the military. Really didn't know anything about finance or credit or anything like that, and kind of just started my own financial journey. I met Dimitri around 2013. He was actually the first person to like just kind of put a little battery in my back when it came to finance, man. So I want to give you your flowers publicly, and I want to say thank you for actually you kind of helped start my finance journey, man.
I
And from
appreciate
there,
that, bro.
yeah, no doubt. And from there, I really just started getting into credit, getting into the stock market, getting into trading options, and now for real estate, all of that good stuff, you name it, and really it's just now evolved into really 100% Bitcoin right now. So the evolution has taken place with myself, and my mission right now and moving forward is to just get everyone living on a Bitcoin standard. So yeah, that's my background. That's my story. I'll let you take it away, bro.
All right. All right. So then I got Melanie. Y'all probably heard me talk about that being my cousin. That's my true blood cousin. So I let her kind of I let her kind of, talk about herself too.
How y'all doing? Name is Melanie. I have learned a good bit from my cousin when it comes to stocks and savings and stuff like that. Basically, financial startups. Um, I myself would like to get more into the real estate side of things. So I do have a property now that I'm living in that I'm hoping to rent out. So going through that process, and then also just learning a little bit more about how I can become debt free and fully just cash reliant and not have to deal with credit. But one step at a time.
Oh, for sure. Oh, for sure. All right. And then we got Chris on here too. I know he
What's
wanted.
what's going on, everybody? Can y'all hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, my name is Chris. I have been really in the game for about a year. Um, Dimitri kind of introduced me to charting last year, and it's just like DP said, he put the battery in my back. So now I'm trying to get on the Bitcoin standard, and just take care of my family and learn as much as I can. That's about it.
For sure. For sure. Hey, I appreciate y'all. I know somebody came on. I don't know if somebody came on or not. Oh,
Yeah, I think a few people are trying to get in right now.
hold on. Like I'm still trying to figure this whole thing out. So y'all like excuse me. But yeah, hopefully they'll kind of come back in. I'm kind of looking at it on the other screen. I'm trying to figure all that stuff out too. So I'm a rookie with this tech thing. Like I really wish that when I was in the military, when they were allowing folks to move out of supply and go into like communications and stuff, I was like, oh, that ain't for me. I'm about to get out anyway.
Look at you.
16 years after that, still in supply, kicking boxes. So it's all good though. But it's yeah, it's a lot to kind of figure out, but it's cool. All right, so check it out, right? So how we're gonna do this is kind of go a little bit through the the economic data for the week, kind of have y'all understand why that stuff is important, and then go through a couple of the couple of the swing trade setups that I see, kind of based off of, and kind of show y'all why, and then DP, he gonna go through the Bitcoin portion of things, and a little bit with the news and stuff too. So um hopefully, like as we go through this a little bit more, y'all notice that it goes through a little bit faster. But the first couple of times, you'll probably notice that it'll probably be like an hour, hour 15 minutes and things like that. So just kind of block some time off, like anywhere between like 4 and 5, and then as we kind of narrow this down a little bit, you'll kind of notice it. Like I said, notice it being a lot shorter. All right. So first thing I got up on the screen is the earnings for the week, right? And this is where when you start talking about options trading, or you start talking about just long-term trading in general, a lot of that stuff is kind of comes from this kind of stuff. So earnings comes out every quarter for every major company in the in the stock market. It's companies on here that you probably heard of before. Some of you probably haven't heard of, but usually the ones that you've heard of before and usually come with a lot of heavy volume, those are the ones that usually make the big move. So if you're looking at this Monday, not really a whole lot going on. I never even heard of this company. Tuesday, you got a couple of different companies out here. Usually, like the first week in January, you're gonna see a whole lot going on. But by the time you start getting to Friday, a lot of a couple of companies on here will start becoming familiar. So, Tilray, they deal with marijuana production, anything like that, e-cigarettes, things like that. Then you got Delta Airlines. This is one of my favorites to trade, whether it be on a earnings or otherwise, just because of the type of moves that they have, like the range moves that they have. I like trading them. And then you got Walgreens. On a from a long-term perspective, Darius, he'll tell you I'm getting clapped on this right now with the with long-term trade, just because I bought it at like maybe $17. I think it's down to 9 now, and I haven't averaged down yet. So, but I do think it's still a good company. I probably will go back in and do some adding to it, but right now, yeah, I think I'm down like maybe about 40% on this. So, but these are a couple that I'm going to be interested in this week, and for personal reason. All right. So the next thing I'm gonna get into is the chart. Like I said earlier, I'm gonna let Darius deal with the Bitcoin part. So I'm gonna go through everything like stock related, and then I'm gonna pass it off to him. Also, if y'all got different stocks that you guys want to go over and talk about, then we can do that too. But I'm gonna go through the swing setups that I got. And before I get into that, I'm going to, kind of go through SPY and QQQ. For the guys that are going through this for the first time, usually when you start talking about the stock market in general, a lot of the moves are driven by what happens with SPY. And SPY is basically just the S&P 500, so it's just the 500 uh, top 500 stocks in the United States based off of volume. And these are all just domestic stocks. So this is where your Walmarts come in. This is where your Apples and Microsoft and Tesla, all those are tied up within this ticker symbol right here, SPY, SPY. The other one that I look at is not IWM, but QQQ. And QQQ is all your tech related stocks. So that's all your Nvidias, your AMDs, companies like that. You always find those in here. And then every now and then I go through IWM. IWM is just your small cap stock. So this is like your companies that you probably don't hear of, but they're probably like connected to a company that you probably have heard of. Like a lot of people probably never heard of Snowflake. I know a lot of the guys in here heard of Snowflake just because we've traded it a few times, but Snowflake is a cloud company. Um, they probably them, and I think CrowdStrike is also a small cap company too. But those are all tied up in the IWM. So the first one I'm gonna go over here is SPY, right? And anytime that you're charting, you always want to do what's called a top-down analysis. And basically what a top-down analysis is when you look at a chart is going to have a lot of different time frames. Chart is going to have what happens on a monthly view, a weekly view, daily view, and then hourly views, and then even down to like seconds. So why going from the top down is important is because it's just like watching something on a camera or watching something from a certain viewpoint. So if you're looking at something from outer space and then you get into Earth and then you get to the ground level, you're going to obviously look at things a whole lot different from all those viewpoints, right? So it's no different when you're looking at a chart. So the way that things show up from a weekly time frame or weekly perspective, it's going to look totally different once you get to like smaller time frames too. So these things are going to be really, really important when you start making decisions on what you want to trade, how long you want to trade it, things like that. So for a lot of you new guys, like you'll notice that there's a lot of different lines and different angles and things like that going in different places. These things become very important when you start trying to establish trends and get repeats or not get repeats, but figure out what a stock is going to do or what it might do. Because a lot of time with the stock market, history repeats itself. And you want to use that information as best as you can in order to be able to make informed decisions on what could possibly happen next. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go ahead and clear out my all my drawings here. And again, for the guys that do this all the time with charting and things like that, y'all know how important lines and levels and things like that are. So the fact that I'm going ahead and removing this lets y'all know that I really mess with y'all because it's a pain in the
Wait,
butt.
AD, why don't you just do another a layout,
Who?
another layout in the top right,
Top right, top right, top right.
top right. Look where it says by your name.
Mm-hmm.
Click that, and then
Oh,
hit create new layout.
oh, dang. See, I didn't know that.
Yeah, don't lose your work.
Nah, man, I can't do that, can't do that, can't do that. Yeah, because
So yeah.
when you start establishing level, I appreciate that, Chris.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Shoot, yeah. Now I don't have to worry about erasing that. That's good information. All right. So this is what a chart would look like without any of the lines and things like that, right? And the best way that I can go through and explain what a chart is like, okay, everybody here has watched football before. And usually with football, I don't care where you go, high school, college. I guess the only place that doesn't have 100-yard field is like CFL, Canadian Football League. But all the other fields are 100 yards long, right? So within that field, this is your field of play, right? But usually the game of football is played in 10-yard increments. So you got first and 10, right? So that's what you always start off the game with, the first and 10. So this right here, this represents the entire field. And everything that's here to the left is everything that happened on the field in the past. So this is like, let's say you're all the way down here near the goal line. All this right here is still part of the field. It's stuff that happened in the past, but it's still relevant to what happens, it's happening currently. So why all these things are important is because it lets you know what different trends kind of exist or have existed within the stock market, right? So for guys that a little are older, probably in your 30s or like early 30s, 40s or above, you could probably go on this screen and look to see what's happened at different periods of time. Like, okay, obviously everything up here is stuff that that means that the stock market's going up or this particular stock is going up. Anything that's down here is the stock being down. A stock being down is not necessarily a bad thing, especially when it starts coming to like a price that's just constantly just moving up, moving up, moving up. Eventually, a person or investor has to take profits, right? So if you can't expect the stock to go up forever. So for guys that, are here that don't have a lot of experience in it, like be cool with the fact that a stock might be coming down, especially if it's a good company, because that means that, your stocks are going to be on sale. So basically that's just like, okay, if you wear Jordan, if you're a fan of Jordan, if you're a fan of, whatever it is, if somebody came in here today and said all Jordans 50% off, what you gonna do? You're probably gonna go and like stock up, like get some money out and go ahead and buy, buy up Jordans. It's no different with the stock market. I'll tell y'all a story, right? So this is 2025. So about 2 years ago, NVIDIA, everybody here has heard of NVIDIA, right? So with NVIDIA is a semiconductor company. And about two and a half years ago, NVIDIA they were down a lot, just like most of your tech companies, like your Apples and your Facebooks, or well, Meta now, and Microsoft. All these companies were under some of them were under $100. So then when NVIDIA got on a lot of people's radars was probably May of 2023. And what happened with them was they were hovering at that point like around $290, $300, stuff like that. And then they had earnings, and the earnings like exploded. And that's the day that you had people making 20, 30, $40,000 just because the earnings was so good. But you would think 6 months before that this was a company that was, getting ready to just lose it all, or, they were getting ready to go away. But these are good companies that you catch on sale. You just have to know and kind of be able to identify when these particular things are happening or might happen. You can't predict, but you can go off of previous information. So that's what we're going to do here. So just to kind of give y'all a understanding, right? If you're using TradingView over here, these are your tools that are going to be very important to, how you start charting, right? So here you have a trend line, and a trend line just basically goes, vertically, not vertically, but diagonally. And you set that trend line up. Hold on one second. All right. So you set that trend line up to where you're getting as many touches, candlestick touches from one end to the next. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to try to find an established uptrend on this particular stock. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to find at a minimum of 2 or 3 touches of this trend line in order to establish some sort of trend on this stock. Obviously, you can look at this and see that this is in an uptrend. So as long as the price is up here or above this line, I'm expecting this to continue going upward, right? So then you want to do another trend line at the bottom of it, and that gives you a general idea of what it's doing on the downside. All right. So what I'm doing is just kind of lining up, all my my trend lines here, just to kind of stay in line with that. Okay. So if you're looking at this, it's easy to say, okay, well, last week, if you're looking at this, all your red means that the price was down, right? Versus the week before. And everything that's white would be technically green. That's supposed to be positive price action, moving upward. All right. So what I'm looking for here is to see, as long as the price stays above this line, I'm comfortable with thinking that this stock is going to continue moving upward. It would have to move down here within the middle of these two trend lines, and even past, down past this one, for me to think that we're in a downtrend. The best way to kind of look at stocks is that stocks are going to be bullish until they prove otherwise. That means that you can expect a stock to continue going up until it gives you a reason to state that it's gonna pull back or go negative. So always kind of have that in your mind, like, okay, hey, this stock, even if it's coming down today, a month from now, 2 months from now, a year from now, this stock is going to come back. I just have to be patient, and I just have to do my best to buy this in the right place. Okay, so one thing that I'm going to do here is also put in what's called levels, right? So what I was talking about earlier when I said that, you play a field, 10 yards at a time, right? This is how you do this. So up here, you have your different time frames. So every candle that you see here is worth 1 week of price action. So this is what happened last week. This happened the week before that. This happened the week before that. Things like that, right? So I'm gonna kind of put a couple of y'all out there real quick, right? So Rob, do you think that this over the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, over the last 7 weeks, do you think that we're in an uptrend, or you think that we're in a downtrend?
It's in a downtrend.
Okay. Based off of what?
Wait, are you talking about, hold on, wait. This is a weekly? No, it's in an uptrend.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
So,
Yeah, it's an uptrend.
okay. So, I mean, overall, yeah, the stock is in an uptrend overall. You had a point where the stock hit a peak, right?
It's pulling back a little bit, yeah.
Right. So you got a peak here. So this is where this was the highest overall level of this stock. And this is nothing that I'm just making up, because you could go all the way back here to the beginning of time, 20 years ago, almost 20 years ago, with this stock, where the price has never been up here, right? So that's your absolute highest level of the stock. So guess what? That's considered a level, right? So what you want to do is you want to put a line there to kind of represent that this is the highest point of your stock. And for me, I color code all my levels. That way those levels have a particular, it has a level of significance for me, right? So I know that once price gets above here, that means that this stock is probably gonna, like explode up, right? So another way to start finding levels is to look for what's called pivot points. So pivot points are basically this. So you have a mountain, right? So everybody's seen the Paramount Mountain, with movies, right? So mountains go here. Mountains have a peak, right? So at that peak, when that means that is the absolute highest point that mountain is going to be, right? The other side of that, well, in between that, between the top and when it's getting ready to start going back down, that's what's considered your pivot. That means that's where price is starting to reverse, right? This is where you find a lot of your buying opportunities, right? So because that means that this is the highest point at some point where investors decided, okay, hey, we want to go ahead and start moving this price up, or we want to start moving this price down. And these areas will be absolutely obvious on a chart. I don't care what time frame you go into, right? So I'll point out two. I'll point out two right off the bat, and then I'll call on one of you guys to try to find a third. Okay, so the very first one is going to be here around this $558, $560 level. And you can see that, and I'm gonna put an arrow here, that way you guys can kind of see. All right, so this is where the price started going up, up here. And then the next week, the price started changing direction, right? So it looks like a mountain. It's kind of like, okay, you guys watch The Price is Right? And I know y'all have, because if y'all got grandparents and you grew up with grandparents, they watch The Price is Right, and you probably watch it when you were a kid. You might not watch it as an adult. I still watch it. So there's a game on there with the hiking guy. I can't remember what it's called, but it got the music and stuff. That dude, right? So the price goes up, it goes up, it goes up, it goes up, and eventually, if you get to a point where it can't go up anymore, then price is going to start to come down. So this is where you start seeing, you see this. So that's your pivot point. So that's going to be a level for you, right? The next level that you're going to find is a little further down. So that level is going to be right here around this $520 mark. All right. And you want to identify those by putting lines there. So now what you're doing on a weekly time frame is establishing levels for a week time frame. All right. So then you want to go down to the daily time frame. And you want to do the same exact thing that you just did on a weekly time frame. Now you want to do it on a daily time frame, right? So you have one level here at $598. And you can see that because price went up, got as high as that $598 level and started coming back down. For me, I changed the colors on the levels. And this is very significant just because this lets me know that this level right here is going to be far more respected because it's a weekly level because it's white. And then this one that's in blue is a daily level. This is going to be a little less significant than this one is going to be. But they're all, they all have their level of importance, right? Okay, so then another level. All right, so Chris, I'm about to call you out. All right, let's find the next level down in here. Where you think that level is? He probably not there.
No, I'm here. I'm here. I was trying to unmute. My bad.
Right.
Down, right, up, a little higher, about there.
Okay. All right. So what made you pick that level?
It looks like a support level.
Yep. And okay, and what he means by support is support is the floor. So everybody's sitting on a floor in their house, right? So what gives you confidence that the floor is solid?
It's the foundation is what we're standing on.
Right. You haven't your foot hasn't gone through the floor, right?
Right.
Right. So that's where you have confidence. And what that means is okay, you can look at all these other, all the other price action that happened in these areas, right? That means that this got up here, got up here, got up here, got up here, finally broke through and held that particular level. And the price kept going upward. So it's kind of like, okay, just sitting on your floor, sitting in your chair on your floor in your house. The price got back to the same level it got here. You look over to the left, price has been here, has been resistance, and resistance is like your ceiling. You haven't gone any higher than the ceiling. Eventually, you break out of that ceiling and you move to another level, right? So this is your next level up. Price goes up to a certain point, stops, comes back down, goes back to that same level, right? And held there. You know that this is a respected level because price was here. It was here a couple of weeks before that. And this area was a area of resistance. So this is how you know that you have respected stock levels. When an area has been both support and resistance, that's like a big thing. And when it goes up and comes back to that level, and help and holds that level, this is a level that you want to buy short term. This is a level that you want to buy, calls, whatever the case may be, because it's showing you the chart is never going to lie to you. So you see that happening, you see that setting up, you see the volume down here, slowing down as it's starting to, as price is starting to get to this particular point. This is why keeping a track of these levels is that important. And you want to make sure that your weekly and daily time frames are always on here some way, because again, these are respected levels, right? So going to what's currently happening now. All right, the other day, so Chris, I'm calling you out again. So the other day, you were like, hey man, you think that we should do you think I should do I'm thinking about swinging a put. And put just means that you think that the price is going to continue coming down. I was like, nah, man. I'm like, I don't think that's a good idea. And I came up with that because based off of this. And we talked about that a little bit, right? So you can look at these levels right here and you can see where this level right here means that this stock is probably going to go back up. They're probably going to get, investors are probably going to get rid of a bunch of people that might have their stop loss all the way down here, and then they're going to move the price back up. So for y'all that were paying attention on Friday, SPY made a hell of a move up on Friday. We were up $7 and some change. Okay, so what I'm looking for on Monday and into the next week is for this to continue higher, right? So right here where I have this alert around 592.67 on SPY, this needs to continue up past this level in order for me to have confidence that this is going to go up to the next level, which is 596, 597, right? And you can visually see that on the chart, right? So that's what I'm looking for to happen. If it gets here and it can't get past that, I know that it's coming back down to this next level, which is 591-ish, right? Or 586. It's going to eventually come back down to that level. So what I'm looking for is for SPY to go above 592.67, hold that level, and then go up here to the next level at ultimately 597. There's obviously going to be some levels in between here because we didn't go down to the 4 hour and 1 hour. But this is what I would be looking for first. The other thing that I want to add in here is my moving average, right? So what I'm looking for is, okay, so, all right, this moving average. So I'm adding in my moving averages, right? So this moving average right here is a nine-day moving average. So this means that on a daily time frame, this line right here represents the price, the average price over the last 9 trading days. So if I'm looking at this, that price is probably going to be 591.63. So as long as I'm trading above, the price is above 591.63, I should expect this price to move higher, right? Just based off of what you're looking at here. Okay, so obviously there's other moving averages too that you want to add in, but this one is the closest to the price action. So this is the moving average that you would use if you were trying to get into a trade really, really quick and get out, right? So you want to so you obviously want to pay attention to that because that's going to always be closest to the price. So what I'm looking for again is for this to go above 592.67 and then onto the next level up, which will be like somewhere between like 596 and 597. That's ultimately what I want to see for the entire week. Obviously we'd have to break and kind of hold this level and keep going up. And how you know that is you pay attention to price, your volume. You also pay attention to price action. If you want to hold on to this stock for like weeks or weeks, you don't really care about what happens on a 5 minute time frame, 15 minutes. It really doesn't matter, because all that's going to do is distract you from the fact that, okay, I ultimately think that this is going to 597. Hell, it might even get, back up here to all-time highs around 605. But you have to be able to, if you're doing options contracts, you have to be able to buy enough time to you have to be able to buy enough time on this in order to know that, hey, I'm holding for this move up here. Okay. And realize that the price is going to go down, at some point too. But you just have to be patient enough to let price do its thing. All right. So my first swing setup that I'm going to be looking at this week, and I talked about it a little bit on the chat, was Roblox. Okay. So uh, with Roblox, all right. So I'm gonna go back to the weekly time frame, and I'm gonna show you guys why I like this for next week. Hell, even into the next couple of weeks, and probably even the next month. All right. So we're gonna do a little bit of teaching here. So right here is where we currently stand price wise, and price closed at $60.47 on Friday. Price is moving in an upward direction. It closed the day with like a pin bar, some pin bar type action, and it engulfed the price from the week before. So this is what's considered a bullish engulfing, and I'll put some information up on the screen here. That way you guys can actually see what a bullish engulfing is. All right. So bullish engulfing is a pattern that's a candlestick pattern that forms when a small black candlestick, well, in this case, uh, it'll be a different color, is followed the next day by a large white candlestick, the body of which completely overlaps or engulfs the body of the previous day's candlestick. And this is what it looks like. Jeez, I didn't expect all of it. All right. So this is what a bullish engulfing looks like. So bearish candle the week before, bullish candle the current week. That means that you can expect the price to move higher because it's up above the previous candle. Going back to the chart, this is above the previous week. So it engulfed the entire candle from the week before. All right. So that also within that, your volume, all these bars down here are volume bars. The volume engulfed the previous week as well. Also within this, you have run up. The price ran up in November 25th, the week of December 2nd, it really ran up. And within a couple of weeks before Christmas. The week of Christmas, price dropped down, but the selling volume was very, very, very low compared to what the previous weeks, right? So what you're looking for at that point is, okay, this thing is going to start turning back around, because sellers tried to push the price down, but nobody was really biting. So now buyers can start pushing the price back up. And that's what they did near the end of the week. They pushed the price up and they pushed it past where sellers initially wanted it to go. So that's what's called a bullish engulfing. Bullish engulfing is a positive bullish candlestick. Okay. So that's one reason why I like this for next week. Also, if you look on the daily time frame, okay, you have what's called a bull flag. So also on candles on charts, you have different patterns that you want to pay attention to. I'm also going to show you guys what a bull flag is. All right, so bull flag. All right. I'll show you guys what It is, and then I'll show you the chart. Okay, so bull flag. Like I said, bullish flag formation signaling to move higher. All right, bullish flag formations are found in stocks with strong uptrends and are considered good continuation patterns. They're called bull flags because the pattern represents or resembles a flag on a pole. I'll show you guys an example of that. Here's your pole. This shows the uptrend. Here's your flag. And what the flag is doing is basically doing price consolidation, right? So this means that, okay, price went up. Buyers like this area. They're waiting for more buyers to step in. So just because a price consolidates in this area is not a bad thing for, for anybody concerned. Then all you have to do is wait for this price to break out of this flag, and then you enter here. And then you trade the breakout. Because what you don't want to happen is for you to be in here, this is consolidating, and then it doesn't break out, then it breaks down. So you always want to allow that consolidation to happen and then trade the breakout. That's how you trade a bull flag pattern. So let me show you guys here what this looks like on the chart. So here you can see your flagpole, right? Next thing is your consolidation. That's your consolidation right there. Boom, boom, boom. And then you have your breakout. So you can see that this is already tried to break out here. So what you want to happen is to see, first thing you want to see is this either come down to this $59, $58-ish level, or you want to see it already break above this $61.76 level, because that lets you know that this is a confirmed breakout. And then all you do is trade this all the way up. Where I'm expecting this to go is right around here. I'm expecting this to go here around $72, $73. And that's just based off of previous price action. Now, this area right here, first off, the reason why I think this is going to happen is because we're in an area that this stock hasn't been since it initially started back almost 4 years ago. So this is where price is at now. So this is when, Roblox was initially offered to the public. And the price moved up here, I think, to like almost $100 or more. All right. So now here we are back here again. We've been here once in 2022, and the price rejected from there. So the price came here, went back down. And during 2022, 2021, that's when we were dealing with COVID, things like that. So this is understandable. But now here we are again. We got a bull flag believing that the price is going to go higher. We're back at a level we haven't been at in about 2-3 years. And the price action is moving higher. So all you have to do is wait for confirmation to see this price go up. And again, I think that this is going to go to $73, $72, $73, and it might, come back down from there. But you just have to play it level to level. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trade this for like a month and a half out. And I'm probably going to do a call contract, like a $65 call, $60 or $65 call. And I'm going to hold this until February 21st. Within that time, you got earnings that's going to happen. So hopefully, whatever this is going to do happens before this time, so I can get the heck out and keep it moving. But this is like my number one top watch of the entire year.
Hey D, question for you. Do you see that gap? I'm on the daily time frame. Do you think it's gonna come back down before it takes off to that gap, or
But down here,
yeah? No. Further down, like down. It's like The gap is from like 44 up to like 48 on the daily time frame.
For me, um, I no, and part of the reason is just because of this, because it's starting to kind of pick up steam. If it does, I mean it does, and then then this just kind of invalidates this. So that's why I want to see it. I want to make sure that this continues up. I want to see this continue up. You know what I mean? If it don't, then we move on to something else. But like I, like just based off of all the price action that's kind of happened over the last, few weeks, I don't I just don't see it come back down. It could. Um, and I'm basing everything that I see based off of what happened here. So what happened here and here, right? So when this particular move happened, it wasn't, I think it was this one. I think it was this one. This was a 700% move. This is a 700% trade on option. And I think I got in here and I probably sold it like here. So I think I end up getting like maybe 70, 80% off of this. And the thing doggone ran for 2, 3 weeks. So I'm basing it off of, what I seen this do previously, because this is another flag here. And what it do? It ran up here too. So I'm basing it off of what I see here, basing it off the fact that this hadn't been here in 2 or 3 years, and it's starting to get bullish momentum. So I'm just gonna wait for it to break out of this flag above 61.77 and and roll with that. So I don't think it's gonna come back down here.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, so what I would do if y'all got trading view, I would set an alert at 61, like 61.7. That way you don't miss it. That way you don't miss the move. Or if you got a notepad or something, you could just write, you could write that down. And that way, you catch a nice, nice move. Or like I said, I can see this coming back down here to like 59, like $59, anywhere between like $59. As long as it holds above that flag, this thing is probably gonna roll. And my target is $73 on that one. Um, so that's the only one I'm focused on this week. That's why I've been only really talking about this in SPY. I got a couple of others that I'm actively in now. I'm in Square, and you can see this. It's got a similar setup as Roblox. Same exact setup that we talked about earlier, bull flag, right? Same exact thing. So what you want to do is always kind of look for, like price action. Like my bad, this is a pennant, but pretty much the same, same type deal. It's still a bullish formation, even though price pulled back a couple of days ago, because this thing got clapped a few days ago. No big deal. You're cool because you know that, hey, as long as it's within this flag or within this pennant right here, this is just shaped just like the old school pennants back in the day, and price moved up, right? So all you got to do is, be patient enough to, allow that to happen and not panic. As long as you know that there's some type of action that's happening here, all you got to do is be patient enough to let that kind of do its thing. So I'm still in this. My expiration is like the 25th of January, and I think I'm up like, maybe like 20% on this. Then we're in Exxon. Okay, so I know a couple of us are still in Exxon. Um, we're in a call here that expires on the 17th. This pulled back a couple of times, but I was cool with staying in this as long as this continued to stay above $107, 107.15. That's why I got this line right here. Excuse me a second. All right. So as long as it stayed within this price range right here, I was cool with staying in it. And and I think the guys that's in it, y'all probably were like, all right, well, we need to get out. I'm still in it because I know that this is going to go higher. I think this sees 110, 111 probably by this week. The reason why is because of the RSI, which I don't have here. That's something I'll go over later on. And then all these respected levels right here. This area is well respected. Price just kind of sat here. Um, Price never really dropped below that. Dropped down here to like 105, and that was just because everything came down this particular day. But obviously you can see price is starting to move up, and it made a higher low here. So higher low is also a reversal pattern as well, part of a reversal pattern as well. So price is moving up here. I'm just gonna wait for this to get to where I think it's ultimately gonna go, which is like that 110 area. And then the last one that I'm in is AMD, and I'm in this for the next year. Um, AMD's been getting his butt kicked over the last year. They've been underperforming like their counterparts like Nvidia, Taiwan Semiconductor, and even to a degree, Micron. They've been underperforming them. But what I like about this is the fact that this was all the way up here at $227, like back in February, March. All right. This thing steadily came down and it started resting around this $120 mark. This is where I bought in, and I bought calls down here. Price came down here as low as like 116, but it stayed in this general vicinity. I'm looking at everything here based off of what happened here. So back in August, price came here, did what? Went up. Back here, December 23, price was here, did what? Went all the way up here to all-time high. Price was here before, kind of went up, but it came back down. But this, all in all, is a well-respected area. So price hit here, here, here. Now it's back here and it's consolidating. So all you have to do is wait for that consolidation to happen and let it break out and let it do its thing. So again, I'm in this for a year. So I'm not worried about what happens tomorrow with this or 2 weeks from now. All I'm concerned about is as long as this continues in an uptrend, I'm gonna go ahead and keep, holding on to this. I'm in one contract that I paid like $400 for. So $400 for this to go all with the chance of this going all the way back up here to like $200, I'll take that because that $400 contract could turn into about 8, 9 grand. All you gotta do is be patient. So I'm in those. I'm in Square, Exxon, and AMD. Um, Shoot, I know I kind of ran a little long because shoot, there's he hadn't gone through Bitcoin stuff yet. So I'm gonna let him go in and do his thing with that. But once he's done with that, if y'all want to go through any other charts just to kind of get an idea, let me know and then we can talk about them. My bad, bro. I kind of ran
Now,
long.
no, you good, bro. You gave a ton of great information, man, for sure.
Appreciate it.
Does anyone have any questions on any stocks, period? Or do y'all want, Dimitri to, check out any stocks that may be on y'all playlist for the week?
I'm interested in DJT going into the inauguration. So we already talked. We kind of already talked about that, me and Dimitri. But yeah.
I'll bring it up.
Yeah, I think just some quick thoughts on DJT, man. I think the volatility is gonna increase even more. The closer to the inauguration date, man. I think that thing moves like crazy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can chart it. We can take a look at it and and see what it's doing currently.
Okay. All right. Yeah. This thing, man, like I traded this right when Trump got elected. And like the only thing with these is the spreads are horrible, man. Like you get in, if you get in on the high side of the spreads are like you talking, like dollars away from each other. If you get in on the high side of that spread, you're gonna be down, 10, 15% before you even get rolling. So you just kind of have to watch out for, for that part of things. All right. So okay. So this is the trend line right here. It was in an uptrend right around the time that he got elected, like around this area right here. And that kind of wore off and we dropped below the trend line. And now we're back holding the 9. Right. So what I think is as long as this holds the 9 right here around this $32 level, then it could go back up. But right now, you don't have it don't have a ton of volume kind of going into it. And that, like Darius said, like the volatility on this could push this thing, up more. But like right now, it's just kind of sitting there. But like above, as long as it holds that 30, like $32-ish level, I think, I think it could move up. But if it loses that, let's see what the next moving average is. All right, let's see. All right, so let me get out of these real quick. All right, so you got 20. All right, so that's shoot. The next moving average is what, 27, $28. As long as it holds above this $32 level, I think it'll move up. And then the next one down is like 24-ish dollars. So you can see the support here at 32. So as long as it holds that level, I think it'll move higher. But my concern would be just the volume. Like your volume kind of has fallen off since the election.
To me, man, DJT is it's too risky for my blood personally, man. I think a safer choice would be to just go ahead and trade QQQ or the SPY, right? So obviously, wait for it to dip, right? If it does even dip before the inauguration, get in at a great entry point and then trade through the inauguration. And I think, that's one of the things that I put in the Discord earlier last year. I was like, hey, like just buy a $600 call on the S&P throughout, like mid June, right? Or at least into the second quarter. The second quarter of 2025. And I think that you'll still be sitting pretty good even if you do that right now, right? A $600 call on the S&P, probably what, May 2025. You'll probably be sitting, pretty well off right now. So but I understand that everyone's, risk tolerance is different and things like that. But for me personally, I don't see enough on this chart right now for me to even want to even touch DJT.
I agree. Looking at that volume, that's very it's a deterrent.
Yeah.
So what happened to it like last year this time? I'm just curious how, like, I know with recent changes why it spiked, but like what happened when he
So
wasn't?
okay, so from my perspective, this used to be called something else. God, what
Oh,
was the
okay.
name of it before?
Yeah.
It was called something else before. But like you got it like with Trump, like the thing with him was, he had gotten banned from like TikTok, he had gotten
Mm-hmm.
banned from a couple of other things, right? So what he did was he started his own media company. And a lot he got a lot of supporters. So a lot of supporters kind of came in and they backed it. And and that kind of ran the price up here because I think this thing was close to like, yeah, over like $100.
Yeah, so that's when it initially IPO. So it's pretty much
Yep.
it's pretty much a SPAC, right? Which is a special purpose acquisition company. It's basically a holding company that Trump kind of slapped his name on, and
Yeah.
it IPO'd, and when they hit the market, of course, those first 60 to 90 days, all the buyers kind of flood in buying it. And then, or even the angel investors, those 60 to 90 days, they taking profit, right? That's why you always see, the stock
Like,
kind of trade flat, or tank, because everyone's taking profit during that time. So,
Mm-hmm.
so October is when he put his the very first October on your chart. That's when he kind of, yeah,
Yeah.
that's when
This
everybody's
was.
starting to invest in it
mm,
rapidly with the volume.
mm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is the initial public offering.
I mean, I don't
This
like the
area
guy
right.
personally, so I don't
Yeah.
know which way he's gonna swing on that. I mean,
Yeah.
with the chart, it doesn't look pretty. We'll just say that.
Mm-mm. No, but it's always looked like this. But it has people. Oh, it used to be called digital, like DWAC, Digital World Acquisition
Yeah,
Corporation. Yeah,
yep.
that's what
Right.
it was. Yeah,
I mean, look
and
at it though. It traded what for basically an entire year. What, well, less than a year traded what at a $13 range.
mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Kinda. Yeah, that's just a risky one, man. Yeah, I wouldn't touch it, like I said, personally. Oh, Dimitri, can you chart one more stock for the people, man?
Yeah.
Um, the ticker symbol is IONQ.
Oh yeah,
And so, for the people that don't know, IONQ is a quantum computing company. No, that's been like a hot topic kind of later of last year and going into this year. A lot of, nuclear energy, quantum computing, and things like that. So, this stock has the potential to be a very nice choice for people this year for sure.
hold on. Let me bring the chart up. My bad. All
No,
right.
you.
There you go. Okay.
No, I'll let you do your magic. I just
Oh,
want to inform the people, man.
all right. So okay. So the guys that are on my Facebook, this is a stock that I talked about on there as well. I talked about on there basically for the same reasons that Darius mentioned. I put on there, hey, if you if you put $50 a month into these, it'll probably double. And it's based off of what he just said, the whole quantum computing aspect. This company is you can see where this was. Shoot, let's go back a year ago. All right, January 2024. All right, this thing was trading at $11. So if you bought into this January 2nd of last year and you held it to now, you'd be up over 400% just in equity. Like, so just holding it, right? So obviously where we're going now with the quantum computing aspect, this is just going to keep going. It's just going to keep going. I can see this thing at some point coming back down here, and that's why I have this as a bounce level. Because at some point I can see this coming back down to $38 and probably never seeing it again. And the reason why I think it's going to come back down is because down here, right here, this area is called the relative strength index. So the lower the relative strength index is, or the closer that it is to 30, that means that 30, anything that's under 30 and under, that means that the stock is oversold. Anything that's above this level means that it's overbought. So you don't want to buy when a stock is has a relative strength index around 70 or above, because that means that sellers are going to step in, probably take profits, and then the price is going to come back down. So personally, if I'm getting into this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for this to come back down here to anywhere between like 38 and $39. That gives the relative strength index time to come back down. allow more buyers to come in and push the price back up. And then this thing's probably going to be at 60, 70, $80 this time next year. That's just my opinion based off of what I see. So
my quick prediction, quick take. I got it. I got it going to about $75, $80 by the year's end. That's just my prediction. And with the way companies like Meta, Microsoft, Palantir, the way that certain companies are moving, I think it'll end up being in that $75 to $90 range by the end of 2025.
things gonna roll, man. Again, personal opinion, but just based off of that info, that's what I think.
Hmm.
Anybody else? Rob, I know you got. Well, you quiet over there.
Nah,
Had me joking now.
I'm just working on Nvidia and Roblox. I charted Roblox with Amanda last night,
Yeah.
and then we charted a future ES some future that because she's big into futures. She's trying to
Oh
learn
yeah, yeah.
futures more than anything. But it's
Shoot.
but it's no difference. And I was telling her this. It's really, which is why I was asking you all them questions last Friday about the
Uh-huh.
chart with futures and just regular stocks. It's really no difference when you're talking about just charting it.
Mm-mm. The only thing that you don't have the Greeks. So if the price pulls back and you're on the wrong side of that trade, it's no big deal. You just gotta wait. If
Mhm.
you're cool with a level, if say you were in this and say this was a future like ES, right? And say you got into the trade early and you think it's gonna continue up, but it goes ahead and it takes this dip first, all you got to do is be confident enough that it's going to go back up and just
Yeah.
wait. Now, if you were in an options trade and you got in here and it did that, you probably be down 20, 30%. You see what I'm saying? And
Yep.
then you're going to get frustrated and then you're going to get out of the trade. So, in that respect, I think futures is better because all you got to do is put the money in. If it goes down, okay, all you got to do is wait. Or if it goes past this step, set your stop loss, boom, you're out. But with options, you got to be more precise, So,
Yes, because
yeah.
entries do matter a crap
Mm-hmm.
ton when it comes to trading options, man.
Mm-hmm.
Entries entries is probably the most important thing, to be completely honest, when it comes to trading options, man.
Oh, easy for
For
sure.
sure.
Yeah. Yeah. You definitely got to be precise on that, or at least kind of get your range. And, we talked about this before, like where you want to make sure that you're not going to get the exact entry that, like dollar for dollar, because there's no way to know the exact price that it's going to bounce at. But if you have a range that you believe that this stock is going to bounce at, then you get your starter entry in. You don't go all in on your contracts, because now if it goes deeper within that square or that rectangle, you're going to be screwed because you don't have enough buying power to average into your trade. That makes sense. So and that's kind of how you have to approach the options part. With futures, you don't have to be as precise. Um, as long as you kind of get in, the direction, you're gonna pull a quick, you're gonna pull like 10 to 20 points off of that trade just from being in it. So that's my perspective on it.
Quick question, D, is our future, are the contracts like typically more or is it about the same?
Nah, it's like, okay, so for one, you gotta have a minimum. You gotta have a minimum to get in, right? So on Webull, I think you gotta have a balance of like 500. You gotta have $500, but you don't have to. You don't have to trade with the entire 500. You can like go in because you're buying it by pips. So every move up or down is considered a pip. So you're basically paying like 25 cents per pip. So let me go to I'll go to like ES real quick.
Here.
All right.
But you can lose infinite money though.
Huh?
You can lose an infinite amount of money if you don't have a stop loss there.
Yeah, you could like whatever you put in. Yeah, whatever you put in, you can lose that if you don't have a stop loss on it. But like I think like Tradeovate and a couple of other ones, like they stop you out. They like automatically stop you out at like 30%.
That's actually what she uses. She uses Tradeovate.
Yeah. They'll just stop you out. Or if you get into like your whatever your balance is, you kind of get into that threshold, and they'll just kick you out. It's the same thing when you do like what's the dope? Like Forex and stuff, man. It's the same thing. They'll just kick you out. But like so this, right? Um so every move, so you see everything is in like 50, like 25-cent increments, right? So it'll move up 25, 50, 75. Anytime that you look at futures, I don't care if you're looking at NQ, RTY, any of them, they're always gonna move in like 25-cent increments. So anytime that you see that, that's considered a pip. So that's just one little click up. So like if you're looking at this and it's like 75 now, right? So 25, 50, 75, such and such, right? Those are all going to be moves for you. So if you like say you want to get in a futures trade with like $200, that's you going in with 20. So whatever 25 times like eight. So now you going in with like like 80 pips. Yes. Okay, I'm coming up. Give me like a few minutes. Uh-huh. Yep. So you going in with like 20, let me, my public math is bad. Give me one second. All right. So if you're going into this, right, and you're going in with like 200 out of your $500, 25 times, okay. Well, I said $200, right? Divided by 0.25. So off the bat, you got 800 pips that you are, are dealing with. So you basically got 800 moves up off of that $200 or down or whatever. So if you think that it's going up and you're trying to double your money, this thing has to move up 800 pips. So 25, 50, 75, a dollar, 25. You see what I'm saying? That's how that's how you would double your money on, on this. But like and that's how it works. And that's why you have like a minimum a minimum balance that you have to have on futures because it don't cost a whole lot to get into.
Their
And
ATRs are pretty crazy too. ES was
mhm,
like 390.
mhm, yeah, you get like you can catch real good moves on futures depending on the time of day. Like if you're willing to get up at like 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, you can catch some real good moves on futures because there's a lot because that's when pre-market starts for US, right? So you get on early, man, get your, $100, and then you don't even have to mess with options trading. And you get on, you get your money, you move on with your day. Now you go to work. You ain't got to worry about, oh, let me look at the charts. You just deal with futures. So, and there's a lot of different ones. There's, small caps, there's QQQ, there's ES, there's oil, there's gold, silver, all that stuff, man. Like, but the more that you learn about futures and actually watching it, the better it is the better it'll be for your overall trading because now you know you kind of have an idea of the direction of the market if you're watching it, once futures opened at like 6 o'clock. You'll see it kind of doing this thing. So, but yeah, that's I mean that's my perspective on it.
Thank you, D.
Yeah, man. What you got there?
All right, man. Let me share my screen real
All
quick.
right. All right. You hold on. Do I have it set up where you can
Yeah, I can.
Okay, cool. All right.
1 second here. All right, let me know if everyone can see my screen.
Got it.
All right, so happy birthday to Bitcoin, man. Bitcoin turned 16. I want to say like 2, 3 days ago. Um, which is great, man. Hopefully Bitcoin will be here forever. The way it's going, it will be. Um, it's outpaced gold ETFs. A lot more tech companies have been buying it, and financial giants such as BlackRock, Fidelity, and Vanguard. Man, they keep buying it up. They keep buying it up, man. Which is great, for us, retail investors, because whether you believe it or not, retail investors. I'm sorry, look kind of smaller investors like you and I, we still own a majority handful of Bitcoin, which is great. So right now, the current price of Bitcoin is around 98,000. So it kind of came up from that kind of consolidation period from 92 K, which was on the 30th of December. So even if you would have, purchased here at 92, from 92 to 98, you still would have, that's a nice size swing right there. But I never advocate for even selling Bitcoin, period. Just buy it and hold it for the long term forever. All right, some more news. So Mara Holdings, which is my baby, man, I still trade Mara to this day. Um, they are the second largest company. They hold, they own, they own and mine Bitcoin. Um, so they have actually did something that's very interesting. They have loaned out some of their Bitcoin to. Uh, they haven't released their company's name yet, but they've been loaning out some of their Bitcoin to private companies, which I don't really know how to feel about that yet. I guess it's great short term, right? Because you loaning it out and you still get like a return on that investment, right? And you still hold the Bitcoin that you're sharing out, right? So I mean, I guess it's good short term, but future term, future long term, I mean, it's yet to be seen. We'll see what happens with that. But I mean, for now, it's a trial and error right now. So this is kind of breaking news right here. For anyone who doesn't know Michael Saylor or his company MicroStrategy, Michael Saylor is one of the most well-known Bitcoin advocates out there. He pretty much transformed his company MicroStrategy overnight once he adopted the Bitcoin standard. So pretty much his company is backed by Bitcoin, and he buys Bitcoin like every single week. It seems like these days, but so he's selling $2 billion worth of his company share. Well, he's selling $2 billion worth of company stock to purchase more Bitcoin, and that's gonna push Bitcoin through the roof, man. I mean, he's been on a roll since he even started this, man. Like, and I can show this here. So this is called SailorTracker.com. And so if you follow Michael Saylor on Twitter, every time he posts his chart and he say, "Oh," he makes a joke, "Oh, there's not enough green dots." The green dots represent the purchases of Bitcoin that he's made. And once you go to his website, you can literally hover over like the green dots, and you'll see each and every single one of his tweets where he's purchased Bitcoin and the amount that he's purchased Bitcoin at. And so he actually tweeted out today. He tweeted out this chart and everything like that. So he literally bought more Bitcoin today. We don't know the amount yet. He hasn't released it. He releases it normally on Mondays. But if you want to scroll down here, You can actually see all of their MicroStrategy's financial documents, like the average price he's bought, the amount that he's purchased, all of that good stuff, the current value. And also at the top, sorry. So he owns 446,000 Bitcoin, which is worth $43.9 billion. So overall, he has a 57% gain overall with Bitcoin. And here is what I was just referring to. So he posts his Bitcoin tracker, and lo and behold, he's gonna release how much Bitcoin he purchased yesterday. I mean tomorrow. He's gonna release it tomorrow. I'm sorry. And so I have some personal information to share with you all. Let me see if I can get it to pull up here. It doesn't want to pull up. That's okay. Gonna make it work. But so as you all know, I've been living on a Bitcoin standard, right? So, and what that means is I don't use any fiat currency. So I don't use any dollars or anything like that. I get paid in Bitcoin, like my 9 to 5, I get paid in Bitcoin. All of my other things, I get paid in Bitcoin. And so I do that by using the Strike app, which was created by Jack Mallers, which is a smart guy. So if you ever have time on your hands, look him up on YouTube. Um, he has a lot of insight on Bitcoin for sure. Um, but what I wanted to say was, so I bought a new ledger and I posted it in a Discord. So originally I started out with Ledger, with the Nano Ledger, and then I recently purchased the Treasure Safe 5, and I transferred a pretty healthy amount of Bitcoin, right? And it literally took less than a minute. And the network fees were $3. It was three freaking dollars. And that got me thinking, right? So I use Navy Fed, right, as my traditional bank, right? But it got me thinking. I just transferred, let's just say $30,000, right? I transferred $30,000 worth of Bitcoin. And the lightning fee was only $3. So it got me to thinking, what is Navy Fed's wire transfer amount? And if you all can see this, I don't know if you can see that, but I don't know if y'all can see it, but Navy Fed charges $20 for a wire fee. I just transferred $30,000 worth of Bitcoin and only got charged $3. So what is the need for a traditional bank? And it was instant. It was basically instant. And it got verified on the blockchain explorer. So anyone out there can go and verify it. Like it's amazing, man. It's completely amazing what the blockchain is, what Bitcoin does. Bitcoin is the true definition of financial freedom, man. And I think that this is what we've been missing, as a society, as a culture, man, as a community. Like it's so easy. And Demetri, I want you to speak about how, you just purchased your groceries in Bitcoin. If you want to touch on that.
Oh, okay. All right. So I'm here, and pretty much. All right. So I'll give y'all a little, like a little rundown on what I did. So today, we got some snow coming here. For the guys that live in Virginia, y'all know what's probably gonna happen. So I went out, bought some groceries today, and I'm not a big. Before all this, I wasn't like a big, huge credit card fan. Wasn't really a big Bitcoin person or anything like that. But like over the last month and a half, I've been reading up a lot on like how it how it works. So I started adopting it as well. I paid my utility bills, things like that with it. And again, today I used it to buy groceries. So I paid $350, in fiat currency. Well, not even really with that, but with my credit card. But at the register, I paid $350. But you have to, with Bitcoin, you have to kind of understand that Bitcoin is a forward moving asset, right? So I started in November putting money in. If you go, I actually put the chart on Discord, like what return that Bitcoin got in the months of November, December, and January. So in the month of November, Bitcoin had a 36% return. So if you guys have been following Bitcoin, you know that it was sitting around anywhere between like $65,000 and $70,000. From that point, it moved up to all-time highs at $108,000. So that was a 30% return in the month of November. December, it pulled back a little bit and it was down 5%. But again, it was 5% off of that 39% jump that it had done the month before. So then in January, right now, we're only 5 days into the month and it's already at 5% for the month, right? So I use my credit card today. My credit card has a APR of 12%. So you're talking 39% that Bitcoin made in November, 39%, -5 in December. So that's 34%, and then 5. So you're talking 39%, a 39% return on Bitcoin, and my card is 12%. I'm up 27% on my purchase. You see what I'm saying? So in theory, you would think, okay, I paid $350, but did I actually pay that if my returns that I'm getting on Bitcoin is, is continuing to go up? Does that make sense? So that's how you kind of have to look at it. Like there's a lot of mathing with it in the background, but like ultimately you end up making more money because the dollar is constantly going backward, but Bitcoin is constantly moving forward. So I was like, okay, let me start kind of, adopting this into, my everyday life. And the guys that know me, they know I'm like very credit card averse, don't like dealing with them, nothing like that. But it makes sense here, just based off of that, off of that thinking. And then I actually had to see it in motion for it to really, really make sense for me.
Right. And man, since I've been on this Bitcoin standard, man, I've paid my car loan with it. I just paid my mortgage with it. I paid my HOA with it. I paid my groceries with it. Man, I pay everything with it. It's been great for me, man. I haven't had any issues with the strike app. I even did, a test demo to send to see whether or not, was the Lightning Network really as fast as they said it was, man. So I did a test run. So I sent BTC to my lady, and literally as soon as I clicked send, it showed up on her phone. And she was like, "Oh, okay, well, let me send it back. Let's see." Same thing. As soon as she clicked send, instantly, clockwork, it sent it back. So I posted in the Discord, man. If anybody wants more information on Bitcoin, like please, man, go view those YouTube videos, man, and those playlists that I sent, because it's a game changer, man. It really is. It's a game changer, man. And I don't really like using the word generational wealth, man, because it kind of has some crazy connotations to it. Everybody kind of using it, man. But Bitcoin is really truly generational wealth. If you just solely look at the characteristics of it, man, with it being decentralized, no one man can own it, which means everyone everyone has a piece of the pot, man. And you don't have, horrible evil people controlling it or using it for their benefit, and things like that. So, and we didn't get the choice. We didn't get a choice, especially as Americans, we didn't get the choice to use the American dollar, right? They forced it on us. And especially when they depegged it from gold, and when they essentially say, all right, I'm going to print trillions and trillions of dollars every year, and not even, tell you guys, wow, you're devaluing our dollar every single day, right? Which means we can't buy the same amount of goods and services, whatever, as our parents could, as our grandparents, because our great grandparents could, right? It's even getting harder now to afford a home, to buy a car, to buy, decent groceries, man. You can't go into the grocery store without, especially if you got a family, you're gonna spend automatically $200, $300 in a grocery store, right? Like it's kind of crazy. So yeah, man. I ain't gonna keep y'all long. I know we've been on here a while, but yeah. Just hop in the Discord, man. I highly recommend y'all check out some of those Bitcoin videos. But if y'all have any questions, I'm here. I'm here, man. Yeah, just hit me up.
All right, cool. Hey, the floor is open, man. Like this is
Appreciate you, DP.
Oh, no doubt, bro. Thank you.
yeah, floor is open for anybody. Like if y'all got some, comments on that, want to ask questions about it. Um, you know, DP man, he can break it down for you. Like, I mean, like I told you, I had my reservations, initially on it, but like, yeah, it's for me, it's a no-brainer.
I'm gonna jump in real quick. Hey, what's up, Mitri? This is Akima.
Hop on camera, man. Let the people see your face, man.
Yeah, ugly though. Nobody wants to see him.
Yeah, I know, man. I'm sorry. I'm working at the same time, man. What's going on, Mitri?
Chilling, bro.
Good, man. I know I've been absent. I had to take a year off from investing and stuff, man.
I feel you.
But I'm back. If I don't know me, I'm Sakima. I'm retired Air Force. I was deployed with Mitri. I met him. Oh, actually, I met you. What was it, 2010?
Yeah, 2010 and at CST.
Yep. Yeah, we met back in 2010 on our way to Iraq.
Yeah.
And DP, I met him in 2012. And, we've been boys ever since. We were actually roommates for a little bit. So I've been investing for a minute. I call myself the lucky investor because I I get in and plays like long time. I got in Plantier back when it was $7. Uh, only because I wrote a paper on it when I was going through my MBA, and then just been riding it ever since then. But yeah, I'm just trying to learn everything from Mitri that I can, man. I appreciate the Discord. I know I'm not active in there, but I'll be looking when I get a chance. But with my job, I'll be so busy all day, I don't get a chance to get in the market till about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. By the time y'all done made all the money.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's all. But it's good to meet y'all, man, and looking forward to seeing y'all keep doing what y'all do.
Oh, for sure, for sure, for sure.
All right, Melanie, Rob, Chris, do y'all have any parting words for us, man? Nitro booming. Y'all have any parting words, man?
I did write down what I guess stocks that y'all are watching, but if y'all can do that again in the Discord, that way I can make sure I got them all.
Oh yeah, it'll be in there. Usually I have it in there like, I have it in there on a weekly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have it in there for a weekly, and then I have it in there for a daily time frame. My work schedule is about to change, so like most of the stuff that you see in there is gonna be like weekly stuff. So all you have to do is pretty much if you're doing like day trading, right? Like options trading, you just have to wait for that particular setup to happen. So like let's say we're doing Roblox and the price gets over $61.80. You want to wait for it to get to that price and like hold above that price. And then or you want to wait for it to come back down. Now I have all this stuff in there. I kind of break everything down a little bit, a little bit more. Um, so I have it in there. Then with long-term stuff, I'll put that in there as well. A lot of that stuff is in Facebook, but like I'll make sure I put it in Discord too.
Okay.
All right, Dimitri, you got anything else before we get out of here, man?
Nah, man. Yeah, we took up a lot of y'all time, man. I'm thinking. I depending on what happens tomorrow with the weather and stuff, I may or may not be like super active on the Discord. But like if it snows here and it blizzards, like I hope it does, then I'll be on.
Okay, cool. All right, y'all. Well, I appreciate y'all for coming out, attending the Zoom, and yeah, just like I said, once again, just check us out in the Discord, man, and y'all take it easy.
Thank you for your time.
All right, thank